If you're a Japanese sports car lover, and I say the words Mitsubishi Eclipse, automatically your mind might think Gran Turismo or even Fast and Furious. But the reality of the situation is that in 2020, if I say Mitsubishi Eclipse, I'm referring to this, the Eclipse Cross. Now, I've spent some time in this Eclipse Cross before, and after a number of days of driving it, I must say I was a bit underwhelmed. This is mainly due to the fact that it had a 2-litre normally aspirated engine. So you really had to fight for the power. But if you look here, you'll notice that the car has got a turbo badge on it. Yes, this car now has a 1.5-litre turbocharged engine, which should in theory transform the whole driving experience. There's only one way to find out though. Let's go for a drive. Now, the first thing you'll notice when you drive the 1.5-litre turbocharged variant of this car is the fact that it responds beautifully. If you compare it to the old 2-litre naturally aspirated engine, this car really feels like it punches way above the figures that it claims, which is 110 kilowatts and 250 newton meters, which doesn't seem like a lot for a car that weighs over 2 tons. Now, I can't believe that these words are coming out of my mouth, but this car actually has a decent CVT gearbox. The thing about CVT gearboxes is that 99% of the time, it feels like you're straining the car. It's essentially the real-life version of those old toy wind-up cars that you would just let go and they'll just keep going and going and going. But I see Mitsubishi here have introduced a step system which simulates a normal automatic gearbox, and as a result, the car does feel like a nice, calm driving experience as opposed to the highly strung CVT experience we're quite used to. But when it comes to comfort, it's quite interesting. This car is more of the firmer crossovers that I've driven, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes when your car is too softly sprung, the car does tend to feel a bit wallowy, but this car turning in and out of corners does inspire some confidence. My one pet peeve about this car is the fact that when I look at the rear view mirror, I've got this silly bar running through the middle, but as a result, your eye naturally gravitates toward that middle bar, which actually obscures your vision that much more so. I'm sure we can all agree that many crossovers have started to look the same. In the case of the Eclipse Cross, the car overall is an attractive one, particularly the front end, which shares this DNA with many new Mitsubishis out there. But that rear end, however, that bar in the middle looks a bit messy, and in my opinion, ruins the look of the car.
If we had to level one criticism at Mitsubishi's styling over the years, is that there were notable inconsistencies in their design language and brand image from vehicle to vehicle. However, ever since Tsunehiro Kunemoto took over as head designer, the Japanese brand has remedied our previous reservations with what they call the Dynamic Shield design language. This focuses primarily on the front end, which includes protruding cheekbones that houses the indicator and fog lights, as well as swept-back headlights. In profile, it has more of a dart-like appearance as opposed to the boxier proportions of its rivals. Happily, the interior comes with generous specification and commendable build quality. Some of you may note that the standard 7-inch screen is pinched straight from a Datsun Go. With that being said, however, it's one of the better budget touchscreens around as it's responsive and has crisp graphics. Built in is a reverse camera, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto, while other notable features include heated front leather seats, a heads-up display, electric windows all around, and 7 airbags. The boot is, however, much smaller than you might expect for a car of this size, registering at 448 liters, with a large portion of the boot's depth being taken up by the full-size spare wheel.
At 459,000 Rand, the Eclipse Cross is very well priced and it offers very good standard specification. The addition of the 1.5-litre turbocharged engine really transforms the car compared to the 2-litre normally aspirated engine. However, this car does operate in a very saturated market, and I don't think it has enough for it to stand out.